Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. I am Kate Bolt. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, coming to you for Tuesday morning Coffee and Cards Live. I'm just trying to sort my camera out so we get a good angle. Good morning to you. If you're here and you're joining me live, do let me know you're here. I'd love to see you. Hello, Helen. Thank you for joining me this morning. I've got some fun crafting for you today. Some really simple card making ideas to whip up a quick card when you need one. And we're going to be using some of that really pretty pattern paper that we've got. Hi, Shaz. Lovely of you to join me. Hi, Wendy. Thank you, my lovely. Lovely of you to hop on and join me this morning. So I thought we would make some lovely simple cards this morning, and I will start with a really simple one and then I'll step it up a little bit to show you how you can change it up. I'm going to be using this gorgeous stamp set called Nature's Harvest, part of the Harvest Meadow Suite. I think you're going to love it, and a little bit of the designer series paper that comes along with it. Good morning, Carol. Lovely of you to join me. Oh, you can't be doing the jury service. That's good. You're with me this morning. Right, now, did you grab your coffee for coffee and cards, or a cup of tea? Have you got a drink? I've got a cup of coffee. That's why, sorry if my camera's shaking. That's why I was a minute or so late. I was grabbing my coffee and I'm going to have a little drink just before we start crafting. Are any of you going to craft along with me? Let me know if you've got your stamps out and a bit of ink. Let me know what you're making. I didn't do my hair. Never mind. It'll have to do. I'm clean. That's the main thing. You got a cup of coffee, I think, Helen. Lovely. Okay. I am going to turn the camera around and we're going to start a little bit of crafting. It's really bleak weather here. The weather is windy. It looks like it's going to pour with rain, and I just went into the conservatory and it's blowing a gale outside. It's not very lovely. It's very autumnal here. Let me know what the weather's doing with you. Right, I'm going to turn the camera around. Here we go. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this because I've definitely got my tripod at the wrong angle. So let's have a go. I must have been, I don't know what I was doing with it. Oh, I had the whole thing differently last time. Trying to avoid that shadow, which wasn't working very well. Right, here we go. You can see my desk. You can see all my shadow. That's a little bit better. Here we are. Yeah, loads of that. There. How's that? Is that good? I might try a little bit of extra light, or I might actually turn the light off because that might help with the shadow. Let's have a go. I was hoping that as we're now, it's the middle of the day and we're in daylight, I wouldn't get so much. So there we go. That's a lot better. Morning, Kay. But obviously because we're coming into winter, autumn, winter, the light's not so good. Got the lights on in here, so that was where the shadow was coming from. We're playing with this lovely stamp set today. Nature's Harvest, and I love this. I had a bit of inspiration to play with this. And I'm going to show you how we make a very simple card, use some of that lovely designer series paper, and how we step it up a little bit. So we're going to start off with a really simple card, step it up a little bit, and then a little bit more again. So good morning, everyone. So we're using that stamp set. We're using the coordinating dies. They're called Harvest dies. I used mine for a class. I've made many projects with it, and you can see they're very well used because they're everywhere. But you got all these gorgeous dies. This one cuts out one of the stamps in the set, that beautiful big flower image. And this one cuts out one of the flowers as well. You've got another label one. You've got this one. Some of these emboss as well as cut out. And then what's left in there is just that big label, which goes over one of the big long sentiments. So there's a lot in this set to use. So we're going to be using a few of those dies as well. Now I've got my cards ready to go and I prepped it all. I didn't quite have time to colour in all my images in time, so I'm afraid there is a little bit of colouring this morning. Hello Linda, lovely of you to join us. That's great. So I'm going to start off with the most simple card first. Now let's grab my bits that I've got ready. Don't want to stick my hand in the shot. Okay, so I have got a card base, and this is mint macaron, and I've got an A4 card, and I cut it in half and scored it in half. So I get my piece of A4 card and I score it, so like that, and I score it at 10.5 centimetres, and I cut it in half at 14.9, and I've got my card base. So, and then the designer series papers. I'll show you what I've got left of my 12 double-sided 12 by 12 sheets. Pretty much zero. Well, I have one full sheet, I have a 3/4 sheet, and I have lots of smaller pieces. This is the sheet that I cut up to use this morning. If you use a piece of 12 by 12 paper and you cut it at 10 centimetres and then you cut it down in the middle to fit your card, you will have 6 card fronts from each sheet if you're going to use it for card making. So those are the papers. I'm sorry I can't show you them all, but I'll link to the papers on my website in the description of the video afterwards, so you can get a better look at all the papers. I've literally been through mine. It's beautiful, so I'm going to have to buy some more. So for my first card, I've got the designer series paper. I didn't have very much left, so I went for this one. It is like this on the back. It's got this nice kind of wintry scene, but I really liked the colours, and I think the colours in the paper are Misty Moonlight. I think we've got some Cajun Craze, we've got some Soft Succulent, and we've got Bumblebee. Morning, Amanda. Lovely of you to join us from there. Lovely, warm and sunny Spain. So I have cut it actually, instead of leaving a border all the way around, this time I wanted it to fit the entire piece of my card and just leave a small border on the edges. So I cut it the same length, which is 14.8, and then I cut it at 10 centimetres. And that's going to be my first layer, and I'm literally going to glue that on. Let's grab my glue. My adhesive over there. My little trolley. Right, okay, so we're going to pop it on straight away. There we go. And all I'm going to do is show you how you start off with a really simple card, and then you can just make it a little bit, step it up a little bit more and a little bit more, depending on what you want to do with your crafting. Okay, so we've got that glued on. Oh, I haven't cut any white inserts, so I'll have to do that. I'll probably do that after each card. Okay, so we've got that one. That's good. And then I need a layer to go on the front. Let's grab some more white. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. Okay, and I have decided that I'm going to have a white panel on the front to do my stamping, and I worked out what I want. I just want a little white panel, so I worked out some measurements, and I like it at 7 centimetres. So I'm just going to cut that one out. Oh, that's a bit too small. I changed my mind. 7.5 centimetres, but that's fine. I use all my white. I'm going to be stamping on that in a minute. 7.5 centimetres by 12 centimetres. Because I made it slightly bigger than I originally wanted. There we are. So that's that one. And that's just about nice size to go on the front of my card, and you can still see the designer series paper, and you can still see how pretty it is. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of stamping. So where is it? This lovely big flower image here. It's really pretty. It's a cone flower, I've been told. So I'm very pleased to learn the name of it. Some people call them a dome flower, cone. It's a cone flower, and there's another name I can't remember. It might come back to me. I'm going to ink it up in a nice neutral colour. I've gone for Sahara Sand, so that I can colour it in if I want to. I'm not going to, but if I want to, I can colour it in, and you can't really see those harsh lines. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it in the middle, like this. Oh, I can see myself on my laptop, but I just can't see all the comments on there. Echinacea, that's it. Thank you, Shaz. You beat me to it. And let's see if I can make that a bit bigger. Oh yeah, now I can see my comments, but I don't really want to hear myself. There we are. So here we go. So we've got our flower, and I'm going to pop it on, and I'm going to stick it down flat. I'm not colouring it in. I really like the image as it is. I coloured it in. I had one already coloured in, to be fair, when I made this card. And I tried it. And then I thought, actually, when you stamp it, it's so beautiful. For this first basic card, I'm going to have it just like this. So we've got our panel on there. That's it. And then I've got a strip of this mint macaron cardstock, and I think I cut it at about 1.5 centimetres. I did, 1.5 centimetres. Now, there's lots of great sentiments in this stamp set that I could have used. I've got this thank you, I've got this sending healing thoughts, how much you mean to me, I've got good luck. I have got a stack of thank you cards that I can use. I've got congratulations and I've got good luck. What I need is a nice little stash of birthday cards. So what I did is I went through my stash and I picked out the Enjoy the Moment stamp set because this has got a nice little happy birthday. I'm going to use that. So I suggest making a card like this, which could be fairly generic, and you can make it whatever occasion you need it to be. Just close that stamp set, that ink pad. Okay, and then I decided, all right, I needed to pick one of the colours out of the designer series paper. I need it to be slightly darker, so it'll show up on this cardstock. So I went for Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight it is. Such a quick birthday card. And I'm going to stamp it in the middle here. Oh, that's too high up. I wasn't very clever doing that, was I? And it was a very wonky happy birthday. Let's bring it down a bit. That's better. What was I doing? That's why I have a nice long piece so I can stamp it a couple of times if I want. Okay. I'm literally going to cut out my happy birthday and I'm just going to cut around it. I don't want it very long. I just want the happy birthday. Like so. I'm going to use that one for the next card. And I'm going to pop it on here like this. Okay, I'm going to grab some dimensional foam pads. I need to get some more of these out of my drawer. Getting low. Right, okay. There we go. And we're going to pop it on the top, just kind of over the stems there. Happy birthday. That's our card. I'm going to cut the centerpiece that I need for inside. So I need that one to be 10 by 14.3. Always just 0.5 centimetre smaller than the card base to leave room. And then inside that's going to go in there. So I think I might do a little bit of stamping there just to pretty that one up a little bit. Get my silicone mat out. These are very useful. Protect your surface a little bit. Okay, let's have it straight. Okay, I'm going to ink up this lovely flower once more. So all I've done is created a card base, made my designer series paper or pattern paper layer just slightly smaller and stuck it on the top. I then made a white panel about the size that I liked and stamped on it and added a sentiment, and that's literally what I've done for this card. And then we can put happy birthday again in there. Here we go. Let's close these ones up. And then we can glue that one inside, and that's our first card made. Very quick and simple birthday card. But it's still really pretty. Okay, there we go. There's our birthday card. So simple using that pretty paper. Okay, we're going to do it again, but we're going to step it up slightly this time. Same card, a little bit different. Okay, now, okay, let's see what we've got now. I've got all the bits here ready, see. So I've got the same thing. I've got the card base. I've cut my designer series paper slightly smaller this time because I wanted to show more of the border of my mint macaron card base. So I think I cut it at 9. I cut it at 9 centimeters by 13.3. So I just went down a little bit. So that's 9 by 13.3. I'll put all the measurements on the blog post that goes along with this live, and it'll for each card, so you don't have to write it down or remember it. You can just pop into there and see it, and that's at inkstampshare.ink. You'll find my blog there, but you can find all the measurements later on today. I'll pop that up there. So what I need now is another piece of card exactly the same as the white one that I had before, and that needs to be 7.5 by 12 centimeters. I wonder if this one's long enough. I think it is. There we go. Chop the end off. We're going to make a little banner this time. Yeah, that's still going to be okay going on there. I think that's what I did. Whatever I did with it. Let's just grab it. I made a banner. I'll show you. Here it is. And it's very simple to do. Yeah, that is still the right size. Okay, so I'll show you how I made it. Keep all my pieces together so I don't lose them. Okay. I have got a frog in my throat today. Right, so we know that this is 7.5. So we need to go along to roughly about 3.7 to get our halfway point. And then I'm going to put my trimmer piece right out of the way. I don't want to use that. I'm going to bring my score in. There, I know that's the middle. I don't need to use it actually. I'm just going to use my pencil point. Let's go pencil. Now, where your trimmer blade can sit and be removed and replaced, there's a little kind of opening here on the trimmer. And I'm just using that as a general guide for my pencil point. Instead of measuring anything, I thought it was a good idea. And it worked. It worked really well. It was the right measurement for what I wanted. So I've made a pencil point right there. Okay, and so to make our nice little banner, I'm going to take the corner and I'm going to cut it to that pencil point. So to do that, you need to make sure you can see your pencil point in the cutting channel and just take it up to there, little bit by little bit, and then do the same on the other side. You'll have a pennant or banner with very little measuring to do. Make sure you don't go too far. There you have it. Ta-da! I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, I'm glad you like that, Helen. Hello, Jen. I'm so glad you joined us this morning. That's good. Excellent. So, right, okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to... That will sit on the front of our card. I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way. It's getting in the way a bit. Now, I used a piece of my scrap paper where I was practicing pennants and banners and things. And I have stamped that flower again. Now I'm going to sit down for a moment because I'm going to do some colouring in with you guys. Here we go. Let's see. Your angle is not great, is it? Let's see if I can make that a bit better. Hard to know what you can see. Right, here we go. It's not straight. Maybe it's fine. Right, okay, so I have taken some of the yellows. I don't have the bumblebee blends. You can get them maybe, but I got a yellow anyway. So I've got light and dark mango melody, and I just picked out a green for the stems, and I have got old olive. So I'm going to do a little bit of colouring in. And what I like to do is I tend to go for the darkest colour first and do my shading. But I'm not an expert at colouring in. I don't need to be because the blends do it for me. I'm just going to go at the kind of base of the flower up here with the dark and here. Echinacea come in lots of different colours. You can get deep pinks and purples and like dark red, purple kind of colours. You can get all sorts. But I thought to match, because you can get yellow ones, to match that designer series paper, I go in with the yellows. I like to use the bullet end. There is a brush end as well. If you've got large areas, a brush end is really useful, but mine's quite small, so I'm going to go in with this kind of pen end, bullet tip end, if you like. It's a normal kind of end. And just blend that where those two colours kind of the same colour, but where those shades meet. So it's Mango Melody in light and Mango Melody in dark. That. Oh, I think I might change my mind for the top of the cup of the flower. Okay, so a little bit of colouring, but not too much today. It won't take long. And we are going to cut this flower out. There's the flower. Needs a little bit of green. I think I'll just go in with the light old olive. I think that will be enough. Like so. So tell me, ladies, I can see you all on my screen, all your lovely comments. Tell me, have any of you been watching anything interesting lately on the television? I would love to know if you have any good recommendations for me for chilling out and watching TV. Tell me if you do. I don't tend to watch a lot until in the evening when I stop, but it's nice to just stop then and watch a little bit of something sometimes. Right. So nearly done. You can take a lot longer over yours. There we go. And I think I'm going to grab the pumpkin pie colour, which is not a very light orange as you'd expect it to be for a light pumpkin. But it's perfect for the top of that flower. Hello, Janice. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. We're a lovely group. We're a lovely group of ladies. Are any of you crafting? I'd love to know if you're doing any stamping, or does anybody have any plans to craft later today? That would be nice to know. Okay, so we have coloured it in. It doesn't really take very long. I'm going to grab the dies. They're all falling out because I've used them. They're not really sticking in there anymore. I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to pop it on. A little bit of washi tape holds it in place in case it moves slightly, because that can get a bit annoying. You're knitting! Married at First Sight Australia. Somebody else, I think it was our mum who said about that ages ago. Hi, Alexis. Good morning. Said about Married at First Sight Australia. I've never seen it. I think I might need to give it a go, because everyone says it's one of those, is it bad TV that's addictive, would you say, if it's a guilty pleasure? I love that kind of thing. Honestly, you wouldn't believe the kind of things I watch. I have my own guilty pleasures. I love The Walking Dead. You'd never believe it, would you? You're crocheting, Helen. Are you whipping up a storm? I thought you might have been playing with your lovely new starter kit. Helen has joined my lovely Stampin' Incredible Stampers team. I'm very excited about that. Here we go. Right, so I've got 2 pieces on there because I want it to stay put. All right, let's pop it through and see how it goes. I've also got some news for you ladies, which is very exciting. We're having a stamp sale. So we're having a stamp sale for 24 hours only, and that starts at 11 o'clock tonight in the UK till 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Although, to be fair, I would not leave it till 11 o'clock at night because I always think that's a bit touch and go with the way the European timings and ordering work. But it's 24 hours and it starts at 11 o'clock tonight. And that's off all of the Cling stamp sets, I believe. In our annual catalogue, you get 15% off, which is pretty impressive. It makes some of those stamp sets an amazing deal. Oh, Janice, you're watching before bed. It's 11:15 for you. Oh, my word. And Amanda's hanging up her washing. And her husband's going to make you a paella. Oh, your daughter and grandsons are here for half term. Oh, Amanda, that's lovely. It's half term next week here. Oh, that's really nice. I hope you have a lovely time. And Helen, you're in the other room because your husband's making so much noise you can't listen. What is he doing? No, don't answer. Don't answer. I'm not sure I want to know. Okay, so I've cut out a few more elements for this card from the die set. So all we've got at the moment is very similar to the original card. So instead of just stamping it, we've coloured it and cut it out, and we've made a little banner there. Okay, so what I've done for this one is I've added in a few more elements. I have cut out that die, wherever it is, this one, that looks like grasses. I've cut that one out in some vellum, a nice kind of see-through vellum, and I've cut it out in crumb cake as well. Okay. I've got my strip so that I can stamp happy birthday. And I've also got another strip of the designer series paper that I cut off when I was cutting the paper out. And I'm going to use that on my card in a moment. But first of all, we're going to assemble it. Oh, he won't stop talking. Oh. Good morning, lovely Lynn. How are you, my love? How are you? Ah. Linny has been crocheting a lot. She went to a craft fair this weekend. Helen Lynn loves crocheting. You want to have a look at her Facebook. She's got some beautiful crocheted animals. Linda, this stamp set is absolutely stunning. I did it for a class. Was this last month's class? But I have made so many cards with it. So many different cards. It's so versatile. So I've got my designer series paper on. Then I'm going to put on my banner as well. So my white layer is exactly the same. I've just turned it into a little pennant banner instead. Just give it a little bit of interest. I'm going to add this one on, make sure that's straight. We don't want a wonky pennant. I'm going to decide how these are going to be. Now, they're very long on the end, so I'm just going to chop off some of this. We don't need this quite as long, like that. And I think I cut this slightly shorter when I cut it, so let's cut a little bit off. As long as you don't cut it too high up, they'll stay together. And I'm just going to work out how I'm going to stick these together. So I've got this one, and this one. I think that would work. It might need to be slightly down a bit, so I think I'm going to cut a bit more off the bottom of those. Oh, you're at work, Lynn. I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you. You're so lovely. I hadn't seen Lynn for ages, and then we got to see each other recently at a wider team event, and that was so nice. It was so nice. There's nothing like the crafting community, is it? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stick it all down now. Now I know what I'm doing. Right, a little bit of glue. I don't need very much at all, and I don't really want to put much that you can see on the vellum, because you can often see it through the other side. Just a little bit on the bottom, really. Just like so. There we go. Same on the crumb cake one, but I can put it further up on this one because it won't show. Okay, next thing is our cone flower. I'm gonna stick that one down flat as well. Whoopsie daisy, that wasn't stuck down, was it? I think it got stuck to me. There, leave it for a minute to dry. Okay, cone flower now. So we don't have to have really complicated cards. You can make one and then just make a variation on it, change it up slightly, add a few more things to it. Okay, I am going to stamp happy birthday. I've got glue everywhere. That's always good, isn't it? Still in the misty moonlight. I like that. Oh, the sun is coming out here. My son breaks up on Thursday, which I am so excited about because I thought it was Friday. Happy birthday. That's still wonky. This is should be Wednesday. Wonky stamping Wednesday or something. It is wonky stamping day for me anyway. Let's try it again. That's better. It seems like I need 2 goes at every stamp today. But we're all human after all. So so what I was going to say was this amazing stamp sale that we've got coming up, and it starts tonight. How cool is that? You get 15% off all the Kling stamp sets in the annual catalogue. Tipsy Tuesday. Are you trying to say I've been on the drink already, Helen Stradling? I have been on the coffee, that's it. But that's very funny. It would be interesting to see how the stamping came out, wouldn't it? It would not be a good plan, maybe. But it could be quite funny. So the stamp sale, let's get back to that. So the stamp sale, 15% off, which is pretty impressive. But what I was going to say was that if you're a member of my team or if you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator, don't forget that's on top of your discount. You've already got a 20 or 25% discount if you're part of Stampin' Up or part of my team. So add the extra 15% on top as well. And you're getting an amazing discount. So I am popping that happy birthday in roughly the same place I did for the other card. And then I'm going to pretend this piece of designer series paper is a little bit of washi tape. I'm going to move this to the side. I am going to cut it a bit smaller. Go on it about yay long. So if I tell you that's about 6 centimetres, and I'm going to cut it at about 2, I think. Oh, I think that's a bit fat for what I want. So let's cut it at about 1. 1.5. Let's try 1.5. 1.5. Yeah, that works. 1. Let's go for 1. I want it skinny. I'm going to use the other side of the paper to provide a little bit of contrast. So 6 by 1. And I'm going to pop it up here like that. Yeah, I might redo that. It's not very straight. Do you ever cut little things and they just don't look straight? I do it all the time. Can't cut with a straight with a ruler, I can't. There we are, Tipsy Tuesday. Tilting Tuesday, that's definitely it. We love an alliteration. So I'm going to put that behind there, and that is going to, I should have brought my flowers down a bit, but that's okay. That's going to be kind of my washi tape, and I might just bring the edge a bit so it doesn't look quite so contrived. Yeah, there we are. That's it. I'm going to glue that down. Yeah, fake washi tape. Why not? We need some washi tape. We all need to tell Stampin' Up, please bring us back some washi tape to play with. It wasn't particularly popular, so they're not carrying it. So we need to buy it if they bring it back. So they probably will. Right, okay, so there we are. There's my fake washi tape on the top there, and it looks like it's holding this banner in place. So you can see this is my first very simple card. This is my stepped up version, and then I'm going to step it up one more time with just one more element, I think. One more little bit of an element. And we're going to make it again. So, excuse my arm. I have got my card base exactly the same, mint macaron card base. It's meant to be soft succulent in the designer series paper, but I have only got a couple of sheets left, and I thought the mint went with it really well, so I thought I'd go for mint. Thank you, Amanda. So let's bring in all the pieces I have got ready. So I'll show you. I've got lots of bits for this one, but it's not hard. So I have got my base, exactly the same size base. And instead of having a panel of designer series paper this time, I have got my panel and I've cut it into 3 pieces. So it's 10 centimeters across the top. Yeah. And now if it was a full panel, that would then be 14.3. However, I wanted some little gaps in between. So I made 3 pieces at 4 centimeters each. So this would have been 10 by 12, and I cut it into 3. I hope that makes sense for you. What I'm going to try and do is work out. That didn't go there. I think that one probably went there when I cut it up. And then that one went there. So it looks right when you don't have to do that. I just thought it was pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to pop that one on there. Now, you could do this, if you've got the stitch rectangle framelets, you could cut out the stitch rectangles and just do it that way. Now, if any of you know where my stitch rectangle framelit set is, please could you tell me, because they've gone walkabouts. So we're going for just some rectangles instead, and I'm going to glue them down. In fact, what I might do is, yeah, I'll do it this way. I was going to put the middle one on first, but this will be fine. Where would they be? If you were a stitched rectangle framelit die set, where would you be? I have looked in every bag, in where all my dies are kept. I've looked everywhere on my shelves. It's a whole set. Where can it have gone? Thank you, Amanda. These are very simple. So all I've done this time is changed up the panel at the back and divided it into 3. See, I'm starving. Can't be lunchtime yet, can it? Okay, so we've got ours. Got our panels. There we are. All ready to go. Now, let's put the lid on that. I'll just move it out of the way because you can know what's going to happen next. Okay, I've got my piece again, which should be 12 by 7.5, which it is. I'm going to do the same as I did last time. I'm going to pop it in my trimmer. I bring it up there, you can see at the 3.7 centimeters, and where that little notch is here, so I'm going to put my pencil mark. That's literally as scientific as it gets. Okay, and then I'm going to cut from one point on the groove, and then you need to have the pencil mark inside the channel. Bring your blade down and cut up to that pencil mark, and then the same the other side. I can tell you, hopefully, how high that pencil mark is. There we are, a bit lower, but that's fine. So it is at about 1.5 centimeters. No, it's about 1 3/4 centimeters high, but I just did it in that little middle bit because that works. Less measuring the better, isn't it? There we are. Okay, so on we go. On we go. So this is going to go on here again. I'm going to glue that one down. Very simple. I can't remember, Helen, what I was last using it for because I use them so much. But I hadn't used them for a while, and then I remember getting them out. That's all I remember. So I have no idea. I'm bringing this one down slightly to leave more room for my washi tape type thing at the top. Okay, now I have stamped the flower again, so we just need to quickly colour that one in, very quick. Sit down to do it. I was hoping to get my colouring in done before the live, but time ran away. That sometimes happens. So luckily, it's not a very big stamp to colour in. Ow, got my finger in. Is that straight? Yeah, that's straight. Okay. I was using it for, I have bags that I take to classes that I just keep for classes. I've been into those. Probably turn up somewhere completely unexpectedly. They're just so useful. Okay. And then I used the pumpkin, didn't I? The light pumpkin pie pen for the top. Or you could use crumb cake, but I think that's quite dark. It would work. And then a little bit of green. There we go. Such a gorgeous stamp. It's nice in all the different colours if you colour it in those like sort of raspberry colours or pinks. Floaty flamingo, flips of coral, those colours are lovely for this flower. So, but I'll have 3 birthday cards made by the end of this live. Unless any of you would like one, even if it's not your birthday, I can just send one to you. Right, here's the die with the washi tape still attached. There's my bin next to me. Right, I'm going to stick it back down. Go over the lines a tiny bit. That doesn't matter so much because you're actually cutting it out. I recommend the dies with this stamp set. There we go. I'm going to pop it through. Wonder where I did what I did with them. Okay, so here we go. We have our flower. Let's pop that one out. It's lovely, isn't it, Janice? It's beautiful. So this one's going to go on here. Now I've got some different pieces. I cut out another vellum grass like we had with the last one. So I'll chop off a piece of that. Okay, I'm going to put that one behind here. Like that. Now I stepped it up a little bit this time, and instead of the crumb cake grass, I've cut one of the twig dies from this beautiful cork paper we've got. It's actually made of cork. Let me show you. It's gorgeous. Part of this suite, and it comes in big 12 by 12 sheets, and it's actually kind of, hang on, I don't know if you can see really, it's inlaid with gold flecks. Do you see that? It's so pretty. It's beautiful. So I'll step it up a little bit and use one of those. I'm going to glue those down. A little bit of glue on the vellum to keep it anchored. Ooh, stuck to me. So bring it right down because I don't want it too far up the top. Hold it down a second. There we go. We're going to bring our, it's so soft as well, this cork. Here we go. Bring it so we know where it's going to go because we want to be able to see as much of that lovely cork as we can. There we are. Pop that one down. So all on the kind of angle. Then we're going to pop our cone flower on as well. You could pop it up on sticky foam pads. I think I'm going to put my sentiment on dimensional, so I'm going to put the flower flat. Like that. I've got my little piece of mint macaron, which is 1.5 centimeters wide, just a strip, and then I'm going to stamp that happy birthday again. But if you made this card and you used any die, any stamp set, any paper, you could make anything. It could be a Christmas card with a Christmas tree in the middle. No, that's a bit high. Will it work? No. Let's cut it. Let's do it again. There we go. That's a bit better. And we're nearly done. I want to know we've got 3 cards. What a bonus. Right, let's cut that one down. Just checking which one is the right one. Let's put that one away, we don't need it anymore. Now, let's just do that. Make sure those edges are pointing the right way with your nail. You can get them to sit flatter. Okay, so we've got happy birthday. So just by a couple of little adjustments, we've changed the card. Like that. And then I think the last thing that we need, and I will need to do the insides of these two, are some of the gems. Now let's see if I've got any left. Because I've used so many. So many. This is my second packet of these brushed metallic gems. Aren't they beautiful? They are so pretty. I love these. Looking for that's what I'm looking for. This lovely tool I use all the time. It's called Take Your Pick tool, and it's got all sorts of ends. This one has a putty end so you can pick up sequins. This one has a spatula end and the piercing end. And then you can get, I've got a ball tool end that fits in, which is bigger and smaller. Excuse me. And they all come with it. And then you can buy the brush end that gets all the bits when you use your die cutting machine out of the dies. And I think I'm going to go for these lovely ones. It's either these or these. No, I'm going to go for these. Let's go for it. Let's be a bit blingy. Oh, I mustn't forget to put my washi tape element on there as well. Right, I might move those in a minute. I always get a bit fussy about those. So this is going to go up the top. I'll move that one off there. There a minute. Work out how much I want. I'm just going to cut it. Pop it on. Put a bit of glue on. And there we have it. Oh, the sun's going in again. Thank you, Janice. So now I can decide where I want those dots to go. If you don't put them down too hard to begin with, you can move them around. Just be careful that if you stick them down too hard, you will tear your paper. Let's leave that one there, I think. There we go. So we just need to do the insides of these cards, these two. But other than that, they're all ready to go. Grab some envelopes as well. We need a couple of those. Let's just grab one. I think we need one to start with. Here we go. And then I'll show you all three cards that we made and how they are slightly different. They're all the same, but slightly different, how I've stepped them up a little bit. So I want this one at 14.3 centimetres. This is the bit that goes inside the card by 10, and I want two of those. So our insert, so you can write your greeting to your friend person. So let's have this one in. Grab the big one. Sahara sand. I've got one on my finger. Have I? Has it come off? Do you know they're always everywhere? Amanda, thank you for telling me. Probably stuck to me, and now it's probably stuck somewhere else. those gems. It's either that or dimensional backs. The little papers that come off the dimensionals. There are only 2 on my card, my sad card. I'll have to find another one. Thank you for letting me know. I can hear you. I can kind of get that you're shouting at the screen. Oh no, it's come off. And I didn't even notice. Oh dear. Right. There we go. So we just need our happy birthday. Misty moonlight. I'm being a bit lazy. Let's not be so lazy. Oh my word, yesterday I was creating with Evening Evergreen ink, and we have a new suite coming next month which has this beautiful cotton paper in it. I didn't realise if you stamp on it, it takes a little while for the ink to dry. So it didn't take very long for my whole hands to be covered in Evening Evergreen ink. Yeah, that was a bit of a mess, but it was great fun. You just have to wait a couple of minutes and it dries perfectly, but I didn't know, and so it was transferring all over me. Oh dear. I looked like I had green fingers. So happy birthday. Like so. Yes, I do only have 2 gems on there. And I'm sure it will turn up. Happy birthday on this one. Okay. Now, there's the cards. Now there is one last touch that you can do with this to complete your card, to make it really finished off. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that designer series paper that I've got left, and we're going to jazzy up the envelope. So here it is. I've got a fair bit of this left. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you. I am going to bring the corner up here, where the line is here. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to put the glue on here. I'm going to line it up on the edge. Like that. So it's glued down. Make sure we've got enough glue on there. And then we're going to cut it around it. I think it'll come down a bit far. I should have done it on this side. Yeah, so do it on that side. You can see what you're doing a lot better. So stick it on right to the crease line. Press it down really well. That's better, because now you can see how it's going to end up. All right, and then we're just going to cut around it. Just cut up there. You might think, oh no, you're cutting that beautiful designer series paper, but that's what it's for, guys. Imagine if you got your card in the post and it looked all beautiful. You'd love that, wouldn't you? So still got loads left. And then you have this gorgeous envelope, which matches your birthday card. Such a simple thing to do, and really, really steps up your card. So let's see, we started off with this one. And this is literally stamping the flower onto the panel, onto the DSP and the card, and we've stamped the inside just the same. And that's our basic card, and I would love to get that in the post because I really like this beautiful stamp. It's gorgeous. So there's that one. Okay, our second card steps it up a little bit, and we have coloured it in and cut it out. We've had 2 die cuts of the grasses. We've made it a pennant, and we've added some fake washi tape, and the inside's the same. And then we've stepped it up again. We have divided our designer series paper behind into 3 sections. We've added some of the cork paper in, and we have added some of the brush metallic dots. It's no wonder I'm using so many if I'm chucking them around the craft room. And I can't remember where it was. Oh, it's well stuck. The glue dots come off. I think. There we go. I'll decide where I like it to go, and I think I want it to go over here. It kind of gives it a little triangle look. There we are. There we go. So that's how we've dressed it up. And then we have an envelope to match. I'm glad you like the ideas. I'm glad you like the envelope and that you can change it very easily. Very simple, a little bit extra if you have the dies, and then dress it up a little bit more. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me live. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I've loved it. I love Tuesday mornings and crafting with you on Facebook. I will be back on Friday. No, remember, I'm back on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for a YouTube live. So I'm back over on YouTube, on my YouTube channel live. That's Inkstampshare. Do check me out over there for a live. And I'll be back next Tuesday morning here for Coffee and Cards. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching me on replay, do let me know you're watching on replay and leave me a comment to tell me if you like the project. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me a lot. All these goodies are available in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net or inkstampshare.ink. And don't forget, we've got that amazing stamp set sale that's starting tonight at 11 o'clock in the UK for 24 hours. Oh, thank you so much, Janice. Thanks for staying up with us. You're an absolute star. Thank you to you in New Zealand. And thanks to you, Amanda, in Spain, and everybody else. And thanks for joining me. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.